Hey guys, and welcome to another reaction video. And yeah, today I'm continuing with the reviews by Manchild Inc, aka Horseshoe. The Horseshoe reviews. Drowning in horseshoes, right? Yeah, this was Bats. Bats. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good episode. I really like the episode. It had a pretty amazing song in it, definitely. It was a pretty good song, but other than that, the episode is pretty okay as well, I think. It's definitely not bad. I don't think I've heard a lot of bad things about it. Maybe there are probably some things in there you could criticize, it's like in pretty much every episode. But I think overall it's a pretty good episode. So, yeah, let's just see what he thinks about it. 3, 2, 1, click.
It's officially apple bucking day!
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time. What the fuck?
What? Fluttershy goes to hell! Oh shit.
I know I said last week that people take this show too seriously and expect too much from it, and that most of the episodes the fandom thinks is bad I think are just fine. But I think I jinxed myself, because this week's episode was a big steaming pile of fucking guano. And the worst part is nobody fucking believes me.
Yeah, true.
Everyone I've talked to says it was great.
Well, maybe not great,
One
but
person that I've talked to says it was great.
I liked it.
The only one who talks to me. He's the only one in this freak show. Now, before I start complaining about shit, I should talk about the one really good thing about this episode, and that's the song.
Definitely.
The song kicks ass.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's probably my favorite song of the whole series.
Understandable.
It's just so weird and dark and tonally different from the kind of songs we're used to from this show. Megan compared it to Danny Elfman, and if that's what they were going for, they nailed it. With its gloomy, grumpy horns and spidery violins, it sounds like something you'd hear in hell. And it's easy to picture Applejack as the devil, rolling into town in disguise to whip everyone up into a murderous mob. And that's exactly what she does. Before long, she has
like
them all circling
costume.
Fluttershy and chanting like a cult, which
True.
actually comes off as kinda scary, and totally plays up the classic horror movie trope of who's the real monster here. Just like the angry mob storming Frankenstein's castle, or the planes that shot down King Kong.
It wasn't the airplanes. It was beauty killed the beast.
Killed by some sausage, your butt cheeks is warm.
Pay attention to the performances too, especially Rarity and Rainbow Dash. Their voices sound deeper, harsher, more aggressive, even angry. Rarity almost sounds like an outright villain here.
Well, I for one don't have
yeah, I can see that. I can more hear it, yes.
It's just one line, but Tabitha delivers it more like Cruella de Vil than the high-class sweetheart we've come to know and love. It's awesome. I love how as soon as the song ends, everything just immediately goes back to normal and everyone's all smiles and hugs again.
Yeah.
Rarity's reaction is priceless.
Stop the bats, make them go and not come back. Stop the bats. I'm sorry, Fluttershy, but I believe Applejack has made the better argument.
I also dig how it's framed as a debate between Applejack and Fluttershy with contrasting tones, similar to the song between her and Dash in May the Best Pet Win. But what I like most about it is that while it is very catchy, it also does not flow as nicely as the other songs in the series, and I'm pretty sure that was on purpose. I'll show you what I mean. Here, listen to this line.
Now wait just a minute, there's another side to this. And if I did not defend them, then I would be remiss. These bats are mamas and papas too. They care for their young just like we ponies do. Oh, give me a break, you're being too canned.
Now, notice how the melody sort of veered off at the end there, and it had to take a second to catch up before Applejack's part? It's really jarring. Because of how seamless the first switch from Applejack to Fluttershy was, you expect the switch back to be just as seamless, and all your instincts about rhythm tell you that the line should go like this. These bats are mamas and papas too, they care for their young just like we do. I'll suck my dick, you yellow pink bitch. You see what I mean? Now disregarding the fact that I sing like an amputee, you notice how my version sort of flows better? It's just an old common sense rule of rhythmic verbiage. If you want the lines to flow together nicely, they should contain the same amount of syllables. But this song blatantly disregards that rule. The lines are too wordy and it screws up the rhythm. And believe it or not, I'm saying that in this case, that's a good thing. It happens a few times throughout the song. Certain lines are deliberately redundant and don't fit right. Extra words are thrown in to complicate the melody and disorient the listener. It makes the whole song sound janky and disjointed. Okay, get ready to have your mind blown, because what I'm saying is that the melody is purposely jarring and unpredictable.
Okay.
Exactly like the motion of a bat!
Pretty sneaky, sis.
I don't get it.
What I'm saying is that the musical complexities and meta-subliminal theming of this composition are noted and appreciated. Okay, now that I'm finally done talking about the part I liked, I can get back to telling you all why I've arbitrarily decided to hate this episode. One thing I did not appreciate is how right off the bat, this episode relies on hoof waving and overly convenient contrivances to stop Fluttershy from just solving the problem immediately, like she should be able to.
This is the first vampire fruit bat I've ever met, and, well, it might take some time for me to really understand their language.
Okay, I see where it's coming from this time.
What's the problem? You've used the stair plenty of times before.
Yes, but it's not something I take lightly. I've made a vow not to use it except in dire circumstances.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I forgot. Yeah. Okay, I see where it's coming from. Dire circumstances, definitely.
There's some good chickens.
Despite this, I think the episode started out pretty strong. The conflict between AJ and Fluttershy about the bats was really interesting and had a lot of potential. They could have just made the episode about that, but they didn't. Instead, they went in completely the opposite direction by turning Fluttershy into a godless abomination that I would not have sex with unless I was drunk. Like, really belligerently, irresponsibly drunk. We're talking rainbow draft levels of inebriation here.
Who's that lady on the magazine? What's her name? Is she a celebrity? Is it Sarah Jessica Parker? Or is it Drew Barrymore? No, what's her name? I know what it is. Who's that girl? Is it Meg Ryan? Is that Meg Ryan? I think I peed on Meg Ryan's face. Help me wipe the pee off Meg Ryan's face. Help me pee. Help me clean up Meg Ryan. Help me clean up her. Help me. All clean.
Perfect.
Think of the cider. Won't some pony please think of the cider?
Ugh. Something about that line rubs me the wrong way. It seems kind of forced and corny.
It is.
In fact, a lot of the dialogue in this episode was not good.
Fluttershy, you're our animal expert.
It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Oh god, Rarity, not you too. She's got the thing with the suit tail. Oh god, this show is just determined lately to kill my horse boner forever.
The witching hour.
What?
What?
Why would you say that? What is the context of that statement? You could have just as easily had the ponies looking scared and apprehensive without that line. Show don't tell. Bad writing. Boo.
Does every pony have their pony signal?
Again, what? Since when do they have these cutie signals? And also, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will, but how is Rarity doing this? I can buy Twilight knowing how to do this, but I thought the extent of Rarity's magical abilities was telekinesis and gem collecting. Do all the ponies have pony signals or just unicorns?
Well, this is
then?
just like
Oh, no,
light.
they
I
all
don't
have them.
think
Pinky's
it's
is a
really
flashlight.
hard to do.
So where do they all get these flashlights? Are they given to them at their cute Siniera? Don't you think these signals would have come in handy during Castlemania? Or any of the other millions of times they were separated in the dark? Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
weird, but I don't even have time to think about it before something else comes out of left field and blows my mind. What is the deal with Pinky's hair? She seems to have learned a trick or two from the Maniac. Somebody gotta tell her.
Are you really surprised?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's weird and gross and just stop it. Oh my
How's it
god, why does she
gross?
keep doing it? Fuck.
It's Pinky. Why are you surprised?
Gee, Pinky, you didn't even try giggling at it.
Yep.
Ryder sure seem to enjoy subverting Fluttershy's
Okay.
cutiness. So far, they've turned her into a vampire bat monster, a raging Hulk, and even a dirty, kikey Jew.
Excuse me?
Fluttershy, that's Flutterbat.
This dialogue is so fucking blatant and lazy. It's not clever at all. It's not even trying to be clever. Even the title of the episode is lazy and uncreative. Bats? Just bats?
Yes.
That's it? Really? Usually the episode names are based on a clever pun or some kind of tongue-in-cheek reference to something. But nope, just bats. Is it supposed to be a reference to the movie Bats from 1999? No fucking way. I call bullshit. That is pointlessly obscure even for me. Fuck this episode's lame title, and fuck this episode. Look, I'll prove it. There are so many better things you could have called this episode. Night of the Meek, Blind Panic, Fangs for Asking, Full Dark No Stairs, Moonlit Mayhem, Appetite for Destruction, Bats in Her Bell Tree, Low Hanging Fruit, Apple Flutter, Fluttershy becomes a fucking vampire. These are just off the top of my head. I hate to say it, but this episode
I like
was
Thanks for
clearly
Asking.
phoned in. There's no other explanation I can think of for how lazy the dialogue, plot contrivances, and even the title itself are. What fucking amateur wrote this shit? Meriwether Williams? Never heard of her. Sounds like some kind of corny 70s sitcom about a ditzy, curly-haired lesbian who don't take no guff. Just look at Twilight's contrived, idiotic explanation of Fluttershy's vampirism.
Okay, yeah.
This is me, these are the bats, and this is Fluttershy doing her stare. The spell was supposed to go right onto the bats like this. But somehow the spell must have backfired. It took the vampire fruit bat's desire to be vampire fruit bats and transferred that desire into Fluttershy.
Yep, okay, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I have no
Okay, yeah, I
objection.
see where he's
If that's
coming
what you
from
say
here.
happened, then who am I to argue? Oswald, carry on, I don't care, fuck this bullshit, I quit, go to commercial!
And smell my gack! Just put your nose close to figure out the smell. Is it good or is it gross?
So somehow they reckon they can use mirrors to get Fluttershy to use her stare on herself, to reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, make her normal again. Yeah, makes about as much sense as a collection plate in a synagogue. Since when is Fluttershy's stare an always-on passive ability? It's not. It never has been. She has to make a conscious effort to use it. She even says so at the beginning of this episode. Fuck you, Rick Berman.
Now, how about we celebrate our stronger-than-ever friendship with a nice, ripe, juicy apple?
Stand back! I want to suck its juice!
Holy shit! Do you know what's the worst thing about this episode? I was watching it on a stream, and as soon as it ended, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas started playing. And that's how I was left there, alone, with all the tortured voices in my own head, cutting my hands, collecting the scattered shards of my broken soul, drifting alone in this black void of madness with no company but
He
the echoing of my
truly
own
has a
screams
talent for
throughout the vast
over-exaggeration.
silence of the emptiness inside me for all eternity.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay.
I'm gonna get a copyright claim on this video. Stop it.
Our troubles will be miles away.
He really does have a talent for exaggeration. It's fun though,
As
but
in olden days, happy golden days of yore.
Nah.
Faithful friends
Bye.
who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.
Bye. Final verdict.
I'm grounded in horseshoes.
I can agree with that. Alright. Yeah. Well, now I've heard someone who didn't like the episode. He must have been the first one. Yeah, it's true. Most people do very much like the episode. Must kind of suck being the only one who really dislikes an episode. The title... The first one, the title, this is really where I think he's just... I mean, come on. Yeah, the title wasn't as clever as a lot of the other titles were, but who cares, really? I mean, most of the time I don't even get the puns that the titles are supposed to be, so maybe I'm not the right one to talk here, but I don't know why he went over the titles so often. Okay, there were better ones, definitely. There was some on that list that he meant that would have probably been fit better, but God, who cares? We don't really watch the episodes for the title, do we? The dialogue, I can agree with it, but I really think, yeah, well, it could have been better. I think these are minor points. They don't annoy me at all, really, but yeah, the thing with this there, I didn't think about that. I will give him that. That was really weird. It was inconsistent and probably a little stupid, but that doesn't bother me too much as well. But yeah, this is definitely a point to criticize. Yeah, overall, I think while he made multiple pretty good points against the episode, I don't think all collective they're still not huge. I never said the episode were perfect, and I give him that I didn't think about a lot of these. I didn't notice these. But I would agree that this episode is far from perfect, but I don't think it's bad either. I'm sorry, I still like it. So yeah, but I can see where he's coming from a lot of these. Though, and I of course agree the song was pretty amazing. Having an episode about the conflict between Applejack and Fluttershy, yeah, that would have probably been even more interesting. Well, it would have been more interesting. If you do it right, it could of course have been better than this, but well, like I said, I really don't have a problem with this. And yeah, the episode, the explanation that Twilight gave, I always thought was kind of weird and not very explaining much. It backfired. Like, that was all the explanation really was. The spell backfired. Nobody knows how, it just backfired. Just wanted to show some fancy animation or something, I guess. Well, that's just how it is, I guess. Well, I don't know. I still like it. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say for now, so I guess I'll just end the video right here, so I hope you guys like this little commentary. And I'll see you next time. Bye.